Hey guys!
I'm Sarah.
I'm Kaitlyn.
And we are your best friends.
Today we are doing part 3 in our incoming college freshman series.
We're talking about professors and academics because we can't just talk about everything to do with college, but what we're really there for, which is the academics and the professors. So we're going to talk about what we thought before going into college about professors and then the realities that we were faced with, which you're gonna find are better than what you expect.
What we heard about college academics is not the same as our experience. I'm sure if you're a high school senior, you're probably hearing how hard college academics is, how intense professors can be, all these little things. So you might be nervous about classes and stuff. So this video is good for you then. Before getting into it, please subscribe to our channel, especially if you are an incoming college freshman, because this is the third part in our series. We're gonna be putting out more videos in this series. We have a website, yourbestfriends.org. If you wanna know what we're all about, you wanna get in contact with us, you wanna check out our cute merch, everything about us is on there.
Some things that I heard right off the bat from some of my teachers was like, college is so hard, get used to writing your notes fast because they're just gonna breeze through things and they're not gonna care if you got your notes done or not. Professors are rough. They don't really care about your classes or your grades. I just really started getting the vibe that like you either survive
or you don't.
Yeah, and your grades like were gonna be the struggle to keep up because you'd basically be having to play according to like these really hard professors. Like that's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be very hard, and how am I going to do that? Because I'm just like a mediocre high school student.
For me in high school, I didn't hear a lot about college professors, but I was in hard, like advanced classes, and my teachers would always say, these classes are preparing you for college. You know, if you do like AP, IB, whatever, they'd be like, these are the college prep courses. These are the ones that get you ready. So I was working really hard in high school, probably harder than I ever worked in class in college, which is just my personal experience. So I just assumed that the classes that I was taking in high school were gonna be pretty much the same difficulty and time and stress as college, which for me, it's weird because it ended up being backwards. College classes were actually easier, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So that's just weird. All the advanced classes that I took, it was always, these are preparing you. So I'm like, if they're preparing me, and gosh, what's coming after this? Like, this is pretty hard already.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was this mysterious thing.
Like, to be honest, that was me. I was like, well, it's just gonna be hard then, I guess. I don't really know what's coming.
Yeah, literally same.
Yeah.
So obviously, because we don't know what high school you've gone to or are going to, and we don't know what kind of college you're going to, this cannot be the kind of video where we're just going to tell you how it's going to be. But what we're going to do is throw out ways to kind of have peace about like your situation, practical ways to know that you're going to be fine. You can be fine. One thing that comes to mind for me is I went to a Christian private school, high school, and I thought college was going to be hard, but really when I went to college, I went to Christian private school freshman year, then community college, and then got into University of Florida. And you were at University of Florida for all 4 years. For me, private school, that one was kind of easy. The classes were easier. But also considering that undergrad is your bachelor's, right? Undergrad is the first 4 years. The first 2 years of college is, unless you got ahead with dual enrollment, you're really just doing similar high school classes again.
The first 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically retaking all those basics classes, right? General education courses.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is about professors, but the point is that I didn't even struggle like I thought I would be struggling. With my professors though, most of them, they actually did care about their students. Most of them cared at the private school, and at the community college, they were so caring and so nice because they were just good human beings. I think most of the people who say that college professors suck might not have like been intentional, because if you write emails or you want to meet up with them and set up meetings, how can this teacher, unless they actually hate human beings in general, how can they be mean to you or like fail you if you see the effort you put in? Most of the kids who say that the professors are hard or they suck, they're the ones who literally did bare minimum, never contacted about anything until the end of the semester where their grade is a wreck. That's what I think.
I will say there are what's called weed out classes, especially depending on the major you're going into. If you're going to go into a science major, like I had a lot of engineering friends, and what would happen is a lot of them would actually like fail out of their major. They would drop out. They took Chem 1, Orgo. They took these really hard classes. It didn't end up being for them. And same with like the business school. There's some weed out classes there.
Like business finance.
Yes.
Not macro microeconomics, but accounting.
Financial
accounting and
Financial accounting.
managerial accounting. Those are business school weed out classes like you're talking about.
Yeah, and so my point is there can actually be really hard classes in college, and there actually are professors who don't literally want to fail you.
Yeah.
They do this for your good. Like they want to sort you out. If you're pre-med and you want to be a doctor, well, it's probably better that you fail out of the pre-med class now than get to medical school and later realize that you coasted through college, you know? That's why classes can be hard, but if the major that you end up choosing is the major that's right for you, if you love what you're learning, maybe you don't know yet, I'm not telling you you have to figure it out perfectly. It'll guide you basically to the major where you are meant to be, because friends that are grinding really hard for a science major, they have to study so hard for that class. Well, guess what? A lot of them are really passionate about science. So even though they're struggling in the weed out classes, the ones that drop out and fail, that's okay, because maybe they didn't have the passion in them to study about biology and stuff anyway. So even those hard classes, they do exist, but they are weed out classes for your good.
Yeah.
You don't want to be studying something for 4 years that you just don't care about at all. We have to be realistic with ourselves. Like, it sounds fun to say, oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to study science. It's a cool field. You make a lot of money. Money's a big factor for a lot of these choices, but you have to learn this stuff in and out. So even the weed out classes, I guess my point in saying, are not even a bad thing because they help guide you.
And the term weed out, by the way, because I didn't know what it meant, it's basically just like it's weeding out the people who can't handle hard classes. You will hear that term in college, weed out class, and it's just for nursing students. I'm pretty sure there's one science class that's known as the weed out class.
Yeah.
That will literally like, you'll fail because, and it'll show you maybe you're not up for it. And if, like what you're saying, if you're passionate about it, you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it's going to be a struggle, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a purpose as to why. Like, if you give up that easily on a class, then do you really want it?
Yeah.
Maybe you want status, or maybe you want the money and the security. And that's also really real, and that's why this whole college topic is really near and dear to our heart, like our what to do after high school video, because not all of us go to college for the perfect reasons. Like, some of us, we come from like a struggle background, or we want to make our families proud. And the point is, I just hope that none of you guys ever do find peace and security though, just from a degree or for going somewhere, because life is so much deeper than finding security from like external sources like that, which is also why our whole channel, if you give a few videos like a view, is leading you to God, to Jesus Christ, who has saved our life and is the reason why we can have an eternal hope. I can't go on the video without saying that, because life is so heavy and pressure filled. If it's your securities anchoring onto a grade, onto your college decision, onto what a professor says about you or gives you as a grade, life is so hard that way. Thankfully, I didn't go into college with my security and my identity locked into something unknown in the future, which is why we're doing this whole series.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It's just so true. And it'll make classes more stressful if everything's riding on this. If everything's riding on it. I'll talk about what my professors are like, because you talked about at Southeastern. For me, my classes have been really easy. Easier than high school. And I share this with you because the reason why they're easy is because of the major that I'm in.
Screw you.
I'm in the College of Journalism and Communication School. I'm an advertising major. I changed my major multiple times, so I've seen like a lot of different majors. I just want to say that too, if you're worried about academics, it's all kind of riding on the major that you choose. You could end up having Quizlet exams and things like that. And it works out for me because I didn't choose my major because it was easy. Do not pick based off what is going to be easier. Then once again, you're not choosing what you actually care to learn about. You're just choosing what's going to make your life easier.
And oh shoot, you win. You paid a bunch of money and learned nothing.
And I just know for me, what you and I are doing with our YouTube and everything, that's what's hard work. For me, school is not. I just want to throw that in there. You could have an easy life 4 years of college. You could also have it really hard depending on the major. So I just want to throw that in here. That was my experience.
College is a means to get to where you want to go. And not everybody needs it. If you want to be wealthy, you know that you could be a truck driver for like 4 years, rack up like $350,000, invest in a property, flip that property, sell it, make a profit, and continue that. We don't need college unless you believe you need it for your next steps, which kind of, I'm hoping, alleviates the pressure that college is everything and everything's riding on college. We started a YouTube channel in college, and when we're graduating, we're not riding on this degree to get us somewhere. We were already asking God, what should we be doing in the middle of this time? That would help me know that college, like I shouldn't put all of my marbles, all of my trust in college, like give it my all, yes, because we want to do to our best ability, whatever is in front of us at this time in our life. College is just a means.
Exactly.
So in picking your major and in deciding the battle that you're going to face with college, just decide where you're wanting to go afterwards with it, you know? So with Kaitlyn, what she's saying is like, she didn't pick the journalism school because it was easy, but it just so happened that it was easier, which actually granted her the opportunity to pour more time into this YouTube and podcast. But now, if you're going to be an engineering student because you see like you want to be civil engineering, it's going to be hard, but there's a means, there's a reason as to why you're going through that very difficult time.
And a big piece of advice that I realized when you decide on your major, which you might change your major classes, you might get a weed out class, you might whatever. Focus on what you're learning in the classes. Don't focus on the title of the major. Like it says advertising. Okay, so I have to go work at an advertising firm. Or it says plant scientist, so I'm going to be a plant scientist. Like don't focus on the major. Literally focus on the classes that you're taking.
Seriously.
And then if you care to learn about the classes, because think about it, guys, you spend 4 years absorbing this information. When they're hard or when they require a lot of studying or when they require a lot of work, it's fruitful for you. It's not just something that you're doing to get that piece of paper, because if college is a means to get somewhere, then it's not necessarily the degree that could get you somewhere. It could be something that you learn in a class. I know Sarah and I took an entrepreneurship class that like changed our life. I know this video is more about professors and stuff, but if your classes are hard, so long as you chose things that you want to learn about, you will get through it and you will have the drive to push you to the end of those 4 years and go through those hard classes. But when you don't want to learn about what you're being forced to spend hours learning, how are you going to get through? It's going to be so hard.
Exactly. And to add, think about it practically. If you were a business owner, if you own your own business, let's say you needed a marketing person to market your product. You sell leggings and you have two candidates come in. One, this candidate has a marketing degree, but barely any experience, barely any passion for it. Like you could just tell they were a Quizlet student and they just passed college. Or you have this person didn't get a marketing degree. They actually, let's say, had an engineering degree, but they sold like 250 of these engineering things and they did it really well and they sold it so well. I'm going to hire the one who has the experience, has the personality, has the drive to market for my company. Businesses aren't always just looking for your label of your degree. Before college, I thought everything rode on the degree. I was like, what am I gonna major in? What am I gonna major in? I don't know. Can somebody help me figure it out? The classes matter more. Help the classes help you pick.
I know at UF, there were so many big time resources that 99% of students don't use. At UF, there was free tutoring for almost every single subject. Free tutoring. Most students don't use that. They're struggling in chemistry. They don't have the money for a tutor. A lot of them don't even know that there's free tutoring. There's things like Smoke and Notes and Study Edge, which are outside campus study resources that they help you study for your exam. They tutor you. They give you notes based on the lectures, so you don't have to take those notes. There's resources on campus and off campus that are just crazy. So if you do find yourself struggling in college, 9 times out of 10, there's either a professor around you that will help you. Colleges, like, they want you to graduate because it makes them look better. So there's probably a ton of class resources set up that are most likely free to use, or you have to pay for them. But I just want to throw that out there because there's just a lot of things that I didn't even know were a thing in college that helped me with classes that were harder.
And it would have helped me if someone told me there's no excuses. You can always get something done. We kind of have a lazy culture where we really do want everything given to us, but there's no excuse. If you want a good grade in that class, you can work hard enough for it. Which brings me to my point. There are some professors where it's not the most fair. I'm sure you maybe had a high school teacher like this where no matter how hard you worked, maybe this teacher or professor was like annoying and like had this weird system. There are going to be some professors like that it's not like you learning the content. It's more so you learning how this professor grades and how they do their exams. Maybe you'll find out like, oh, they do no exam questions based off of the lectures. It's all off the book. So what's going to help you is when every class you get into, figure out the groove of what this professor wants and how they grade and how their system works. Figure that out, and what can help you prior to even getting into the class is ratemyprofessor.com. That's literally what I rely on, and it's pretty accurate for the most part. Sometimes students who are lazy, they'll just complain on there, and so you assume this teacher sucks, but really the student sucks. But it's still a really great gauge to see like what people complain about this professor for, so you can come in prepared. Meaning like if you find out that they're really mean, maybe you want to right off the bat get on that professor's nice side by emailing them or saying hi to them and like be nice to them so they might treat you differently. Ratemyprofessor.com. I always, before registering for classes, would analyze each professor before getting in, because sometimes you do get unlucky and there's just a professor where it's not about how hard you try, but about how smart you play the game with them.
That's very true.
And it's annoying, but that is how it is sometimes.
I think what would give me peace is knowing your college wants you to graduate. This sounds cold, but financially, like, they want you to graduate. They don't want you to fail out of school. They want to keep you in for that tuition money. They want to make their school look good by having a high graduation rate. So there are no excuses. Even the professors that are kind of rude, they still want to help you. You just got to figure out how they work.
And don't take it personal. Like, some people literally make a drama out of how their professor treats them. Stop. Don't be a victim. Just like if they're rude to you, see that, wow, they're an adult treating me who's younger than them so rude. What's going on in their personal life? Don't take it personal. Don't make a drama out of your professors. Get a life, work hard in school, have fun, enjoy the blessings that you're given, and don't make a drama out of how your professors treat you. Because I've seen that a lot.
I think we hit all our bases.
Yes, and feel free to ask any more specific little nitty-gritty questions about professors or classes if you'd like, and we'll answer them in the comments below.
Yes, and please, once again, subscribe to our channel. This is part 3 in our series. We're putting out more, so if you want more college insights and experiences and the fun stuff, subscribe, please, and get us to 800.
Yep, next video is going to be so good. So we'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.